Wake up, motherfucker, we gotta pee. It's time to birth. Get it? Yes. Right, here. Oh, no! What is happening? Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Butthole. I can help. Yes. Itchy. Why would one's arsehole become itchy?
Hi, can I order tea and 2 sugars, please?
Hello guys and welcome back to Tea and 2 Sugars. I'm Tatty, your host, who is feeling 10-10 today. Today is day 1 of the best season ever. It is the Burr months, 1st of September. I am partaking in the Great September Lock-In. That's what it's called on the socials. It's over for you little bitches, okay? I'm just letting you all know I'm coming out of my flop era, right? Not got a cold anymore. I'm going to be sucking teeny tiny little speck of dust. My hair is going to be luscious, long and healthy. My skin shall glow. I'm going to be a nice that sounds really bad. I'm going to be a nice person. I'm going to be generous with my time. So it's day 1 and it's currently 20 past 1. I got up 8:30 on the dot. Now, listen, I'm hearing that might be a bit late for some people. Shh. I go to bed at 12, 8.5 hours. I'm trying to go to bed at 11:30, realistically, to get 9 hours, because I do this thing. I hit the ripe age of 25. My bladder said you don't get a full night's sleep anymore. Sorry, wake up. Wake up, motherfucker, we gotta pee. So I don't ever really sleep that much through the night anymore. I feel I'm preparing for child. I'm not, but I feel like that's what my body's doing. So I went on a walk straight away. I've done a little walk. Oh, how rude of me. I do apologise. Did a little walk this morning because I went without any food in me, and I'm not going to do that again because I did 1 kilometre and thought I may die on the side of the road. So I'm basically going to do like a 75 hard. So I'm going to do that same route, my normal route this afternoon once I've done with the pod. And then I've got a benefit event. I'm also daily vlogging. Lizzie, can you vlog for me, please? I shaved my legs this morning and they're so soft. I freshly washed my hair. For those of you that aren't seeing my hair right now, it is straight. It is sleek. Thank you. Was I talking last week about my issues with my hair? Can't remember. Anyway, I used Fenola's green shampoo 3 times, left it on for 5 minutes at a chuck, and yeah, I'm just going to do a little brief interlude for the vlog. Hello, vlog. I'm doing the podcast. Do you want to just leave it rolling for a bit? So yeah, I green shampooed it a few times. I'm feeling good. Just been to the chiropractor, got cracked back and sacked, and now I'm here and I'm going to an event with benefit later. So as you all know, we do my 2 sugars and my boiling point. My first sugar this week is going to be shocker to no one, not the Throne of Glass series. I hate it. What can be my sugar this week? What have I really enjoyed? I know, last podcast, I said I'm going to put a pin in this, and I never went back to it. Basically, I'm putting myself first. And I feel damn good for it. This comes in many different ways. This comes at basically Jordan and I, completely different time zones. He's such a night owl. I'm such an early riser. So I've been going to bed at the time I want to go to bed. I get up at 8:30 and I realised I'm also not a person that gets up and scrolls. I don't know why, but I don't do that. Or basically, sometimes Jordan has something different to what I have for tea, and that's fine. I'm not going to I'm quite a beige girl when it comes to food, and I'm not going to dull his sparkle when it comes to that. So say sometimes he'll have like cod and peas. I would normally make Jordan's tea first, then have mine, then plate mine up. Whereas now I plate mine up and then I plate Jordan's up. Little things like that. Going to the gym 5 times a week, walking. That is me. So putting yourself first. And my second one, help, Liz, maybe? I know! My Birkenstock clogs. Now, I have ordered a second pair of these, a winter pair. Naples are the new Birkenstock. I love these so much. As a tall girl, a flexible tall girl, I need support from my shoes. I have worn these non-stop for so long. They have like molded, they have like imprinted to my feet. And I genuinely think these are the reason why I've not been having so much backache. So I ordered a Naples, which is the new pair. So yeah, I've really been loving them. And then my boiling point this week. I'm trying to think of anything. I only filmed the other's episode 2 days ago. I'm going to say it. The fucking Throne of Glass series. I'm just trying to get to the end at this point. I am enjoying the books. I'm struggling a little with the tandem read at the minute because I just don't find I'm able to get into a flow of one story into another. But because I just like listening and getting lost in it. Whereas I keep having to check when I need to read, when I need to stop. However, I do think I'd be very, very bored if I was just reading Tower of Dawn on its own. So yeah, I don't know what to do next. If anyone's read, I'm doing Diabound in the book club that I'm in, and then I don't know whether to go on to Crescent City. I don't know if I just need to step away from Sarah J. Maas for a short period of time. I want to read Crescent City, but also I have some like book issues going on right now. So maybe I just need to read. I really want to read, I might read Somewhere I Turn Pretty, because obviously that's everywhere at the minute. Or go back and read like all the Harry Potter books. As we're getting into Halloween spooky season, I want to lean into those like cozy vibes. So I might do that. Who knows? But I do just love a bit of romance, you know? So anyway, I have in my, clink, I've bought the Stanley today because I've got a little headache. So I'm going to be hydrated, and I've just got the Co-op's apple and blackcurrant squash. This is one of Sophia and I's favourite squashes, and it's great. First sip, best sip, clink. I've really got the ratio down of this cordial. It's a quadruple strength, so I was struggling to get my concoction right. Also, guys, I did the poll on my Instagram stories on the dilemma that we had 2 weeks ago on the girl that was being stood up on the bestie dates. So the poll was, how long would you wait each time for your friend? The options are maybe an hour, could be traffic, 30 minutes max, you're pissing me off, you have 10 minutes of my time, or I just stop turning up. Lizzie, do you want to have a guess at what the most...
I just stopped turning up.
62% of people said that they would stop turning up. And then the one after that was 30 minutes max. I think that's fair. I think I'd probably be waiting 30 minutes. I maybe wait an hour the first time. Well, I think I'd probably wait 30 minutes the first time. And then anything after that, I'm knocking 5 minutes off. So that's that. Anyway, let's get into this week's dilemmas. All right, this one is titled, Am I the arsehole for putting my hand over my sister-in-law's camera at my own birthday dinner after I told her I don't want any filming? Story time. So I'm 29 and I had a small birthday dinner last weekend with my husband, sister-in-law, who we'll call Amy, mother-in-law and 2 friends at a normal but nice place. Amy is an influencer. She films literally everything. Plates, forks, people breathing, the lot. 3 days before, I wrote in the family chat, please don't film me. The food and room is nice and absolutely fine, but not my face. She replies, Got ya. We sit down and within like 10 minutes, her phone is up. I stay quiet. I say quietly, please don't get me in at any point. She goes, you look great. It's just vibes. My husband backs me and she said no. It's because obviously this is husband's little sis. We can keep her in line, no? Yeah. Amy rolls her eyes and lowers her phone for 2 minutes maybe. Then the cake comes out. It's got a cute little sparkler on it and the staff are all singing. Amy stands, points the camera right in my face and says, birthday girl reveal. I put my hand over the lens and was like, stop. No paps. No birthday paps. No. No paps to the birthday girl. And say stop. I didn't grab or touch her phone. I just covered the camera for a few seconds. She snaps and said, I ruined her shot and this is her job. My mother-in-law Bertha says, let it go just for one night. Bertha, you're lucky you're even fucking invited. I said that it's my night, actually, and I can do what I want. Period. Whatever the birthday girl wants, the birthday girl gets. Okay? I got awkward super fast. It got awkward super fast. The server was right there and I felt so embarrassed. My husband tried to change the subject, but Amy kept muttering about how she had to scrap everything. I even paid for my own dessert. Long story. And left pretty quickly. Oh, so she's like fully just ruined this for you. You just wanted like a nice offline birthday. And here Amy is with her G7X. Next morning, Amy texts me that I had humiliated her and made her look unprofessional in front of everyone. Right, unless Amy is Alex Earl, I don't think anyone's giving a shit about her. And for one, I think Alex Earl would have respected your wishes. Bertha says I should have moved seats if I didn't want to be in the frame. Bertha, I think you've misunderstood the situation here. She literally pointed a camera in my face and said, birthday girl reveal. How was that gonna be any different from if I wasn't in the frame? Steve says my boundary was fair, but maybe I made a scene. Oh, Steve. No. You were doing so well, Steve. She's posted me before without asking, and co-workers mentioned it to me. I've asked her to blur/remove it because it just turns into drama, which is why I set the boundary for my dinner. Why I might be the arsehole, because this is a public place and I did physically block her shot and it was during the song. I could have stood up and turned away or something. But also, I don't want to be online against my will, especially on my own birthday. I don't know, so am I the arsehole? Girl! If you wanted a full documentary making about you on your birthday, you get a full documentary making about you on your birthday. If you want everyone to lock their phones in a box so we all have to talk to each other on your birthday, that's what you get on your birthday. There is nothing worse than someone filming you or taking pictures of you when you just want to be offline. That is so within your right. I'm not too sure where Steve's thing is coming along. You literally was like, no, don't film me. You expressed your feelings and opinions multiple times before it got to you putting your hand over her camera. It's not like you threw her phone against a wall. Jesus, like, that's what you want. You wanted a nice, quiet place. She's the one that ended up making a scene because she's the one that went against your wishes, putting the phone in your face multiple times. The first time she did it should have been a red flag. You know? Oh, I hate people like this that just think that you've said one thing and then they're like, yeah, but I know best. Let me. It would not make a difference to any of Amy's content if she'd have just gone, hey guys, I'm at my sister-in-law's birthday. Here's the cake, here's the cake, and then nothing else. Like, you know? So I don't think you're wrong at all. And don't let anyone convince you that you are. Even though Steve said that you've made a scene here, if you're going to make a scene about anything, you can make one on your birthday, my girl. Don't stress. You are not the arsehole here, and I hope you had a lovely rest of your birthday. All right, this next one is titled, Am I the arsehole for saying my siblings can't come to my ultrasound appointment? Story time. So jumping right in here, I am 13 weeks pregnant, and this weekend my parents paid to have me go to a fancy ultrasound place where a bunch of people can come and watch the doctor find out the gender. Right. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. I just did a story time on my TikTok of a girl that was like, am I the arsehole for not telling my parents and my siblings that I'd gone into labour? And it's devised the comment section. So I thought this might be one of them, but if people are invited and if people can come. So jumping right in, I'm 13 weeks pregnant. There we go. My parents planned and are paying for the whole thing. They even planned to do the event an hour away from them, but right next to my fiance's parents, who live in a nice area with nice restaurants. So they planned a small lunch after the appointment. Oh, that is just lovely. How nice is that? My fiance's parents, my parents, and just my grandmother were invited. This wasn't supposed to be some big gender reveal, and had my parents not done this for me, I wouldn't be doing it as a big general reveal anyway. I'm not one for a big party. Well, his sisters found out and were offended that we didn't invite them to something we didn't even plan. So have the parents invited, so it's just grandparents only. I think that's quite sweet. Then his parents were saying how they want everyone to be there. I don't want to do some big thing and have a whole party of 20 plus people, which turns into us inviting our whole siblings. I mean, even my siblings aren't coming, but his family and him seem to think I'm the arsehole and I'm being selfish because I don't want them there. It's not that you don't want them there, I feel, it's that you don't want a big show. The thing is, with your early scans as well, so much can go wrong. And if something like that were to happen, you don't want 10 people there that are hoping to find out if you're having a girl or a boy and then find out that you're unwell or the baby's unwell. I said I don't want everyone around me like I'm some sort of spectacle for them during the ultrasound, but I guess they could come to dinner. Lovely. Beautiful. I just didn't plan it, and to ask them to come feels rude. I mean, my parents are paying for the entire thing. Yeah, right? My parents are paying for the entire thing. It's not for me to decide or his family to decide who goes, right? This is a nice bonding experience for the grandparents. I said I had no issue with planning a dinner for his family, and if his family want to dictate how things go, they're welcome to plan something. But he's saying I'm trying to exclude his family. No. Because if you're trying to exclude his family, that would mean that your siblings were invited and they're not. So I don't know. Am I the arsehole here and being selfish for not wanting them there? Like, I am wrong for thinking his family are acting extremely entitled. My fiance is 37, the oldest and the first to be getting married and have a kid. So I understand how there is some excitement there, but they are not entitled to be there just because of that. Like, they didn't plan the goddamn event. And I'm the pregnant lady here. Don't you get at me for being... Oh, sorry, let me read it in the tone. Don't you get at me for being a bit selfish when you're not the one growing the baby? What do you think? Am I the arsehole? No, I don't think you're the arsehole at all. I think it's really, really nice that your parents have done this for you. That is so sweet. And I think it's so nice for them to be a part of your pregnancy in that way. And your parents probably know you well enough to know that you will not want a big show and dance. And it's just a nice moment for Steve's parents and your parents. And then you can go to the big dinner afterwards. It's a very intimate... I feel like I say this so often. It's so nerve-wracking and intimate to go to the doctors anyway, let alone be pregnant, let alone in your first trimester with your first child as well. You don't know what's going to happen. I really stand by you on this, and I think you really need to dig your heels in. I'm a big believer in whatever the mum wants, the mum gets. What's your wishes? You're going to be sitting there belly out like, you know? And like I say, things can go wrong so early. You don't want it to be a fucking gender reveal party in the doctor's office. You want your support network there if something were to happen. So I agree. You're the one growing the baby. You're the one who gets to make the decisions. I'm a bit confused as to why Steve's parents are popping off. Like, one more wrong word and you're out as well. Okay, you want to see what excluding the parents and the family look like? I'll show you what that looks like. Don't tempt me with a good time, Bertha. Because I'm the one birthing. You're Bertha. Okay? Get fucked. You can just play this podcast to them if you want. You've done the birthing. Yeah? It's my turn. Step aside, Bertha. It's time to birth. Anyway, I hope all goes okay and that you managed to sort this out and you have a happy, healthy pregnancy and you're well postpartum. Love you so much. I got some good ones in my DMs. Okay, so I'm daily vlogging and I'm weekly vlogging and I was going through earlier and I found some good ones. I'm going to let Lizzie decide which one. So we have, am I the arsehole for hooking up with a guy I knew had a girlfriend? This is actually a really good one. My mother-in-law told everyone I was pregnant with my first child before I could. One last rodeo gone wrong.
That one.
One last rodeo gone wrong. Guys, look at my nails. They perfectly match the rubies in my ring and it's making me happy. I think what I'm going to do next time is have one coat of couture and then this is Manhattan because it's a bit berry. But I think if I put a red underneath it, it'll be a bit more like burgundy, you know. Right, let's do one last rodeo. Okay, one last rodeo gone wrong. Story time. Did I become the Amy in my own story? Please bear with me. It's so worth it. Oh. Let's take a step back to my first ever love. We dated from young teens into early adulthood, and it was one of the most rocky experiences, but ultimately I left and not exactly on good terms. I went off and on to meet my now husband, had a family and moved away from my hometown. Never seen nor bumped into said ex for years. I'm assuming said ex is going to be our Steve. Said ex, FedEx. But then my marriage broke down. I moved back to my hometown and thought, why not have a go on Tinder? This was something I'd never done before. But I thought, why not? Get it, sis? Get it! Yes! I love this. And this is where Steve comes back into the picture. Welcome to the picture, Steve. It's good to have you, my guy. I hope. He just kept appearing no matter how many times I swiped off him. He was back there again. I told one of the girls who said just to forget about it, but it was as if the universe was telling me to go for it. So I did. I swiped and he instantly popped up to me saying, fancy seeing you here. We spoke briefly. I had no idea what his life looked like these days, but he said he had heard my marriage broke down and was glad to reconnect. A bit flirty on the exchanges here and there and an open discussion about potentially meeting up, to which the girls warned me not to. The girls are haters, okay? The girls told you to swipe. And now they're telling you to not meet up with him? Do they know something we don't? To which the girls warned me not to. But hey, one last rodeo never hurt anyone. Or so I thought. A short while passes, then he asks if he can call me and we can speak about things which have weighed heavy on his mind. Fucking hell, Steve. We're just having a little Tinder fun. What, I'm not your fucking therapist. Right, okay, here we go. I agreed, thinking it would be a sob story full of regret. Yes, because things ended so poor. He's thinking, God, I treated this girl so bad. Like, and now we're sparking things up again. How is she ever going to trust me? Right, here. Oh, no! Oh! This is when he told me he had been sleeping with my best friend all them years ago. The same best friend who I'd cried to about everything in life. This girl was like my family. So I'd done what any sane woman would do. And I showed up to her house. I feel like we're in Gilmore Girls. That's the town I'm picturing here. And Steve is like Luke. And that you are Lorelai. I have not watched Gilmore Girls in so long, but this is the vision. I'm 1st of December in it. I'm burring it out. Ha, ha, ha. This is what I'm seeing. So I done what any sane woman would do, and I showed up at her house, forgetting this was her family home. I tried to ring to confront her. No answer. So I text her to confront her. She said she never told me because she was drunk. Right. So we're just drunk sleeping with your friend's boyfriend. Cool. I'm stood in this girl's house losing my shit in front of her full family. Ooh, does she have her own family? Is this her husband? Then she told me she'd not be returning home until I left. I lost it. I seen red and wanted to have my day. I'm not proud of it, but also don't deceive your friends for years. She has a point. She hath a point. I left that day and have never spoken to her again, because if you can lie to me about that for so long, what other things can you have done? And how long would this have gone on for before I had never been told by Steve? Has she been sleeping with him the whole time? Let's reread. This is when he told me he had been sleeping with my best friends all them years ago. Right, so not recently. Not that it makes it better, but the following day I decided to reunite with another old friend whom I'd not seen in years. When she got drunk, she confessed not only did... Oh my God, what the heck? Is Steve just going round intoxicating women? Like, you need better friends. Not only did she sleep with Steve too, but she had gone to great lengths to make sure that I would never find out. But only because of this, she couldn't have... I'd never find out, but only because, get this, she couldn't... What is happening? She'd gone to great lengths to make sure I'd never find out, but only because she couldn't have me. What in the LGBTQ? I did not see that coming. I thanked her for telling me, but again, after this, decided that we'd never speak again. You're just scraping these friends off one by one. Let me get out the point here. There's nothing special to Steve. He isn't tall, dark, mysterious, and handsome. So why not only me, but my friends have decided to go here was not registering. I then find out from a mutual friend after discussing how I'd been considering meeting up with Steve, that Steve, in fact, has a girlfriend and has done for years, and more so, a stepchild and a family home. Why the hell was Steve on Tinder? I'd done again what any sane person would do and keep texting him from afar. My girl's got a plan, but this time allowing him to chase and not giving him back the same energy. I allowed him to keep holding on to hope we'd somehow meet up, that he somehow would get a chance at one last rodeo. I stayed in touch until Christmas Eve and then disappeared. Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Here's the lack of my presents. I never had it out with him. I never said anything. I just simply never have spoke to that man since. All his messages got delivered. None have ever been opened. Merry Christmas, Steve, you C-word. The problem is, his girlfriend is apparently a really sweet girl with a big heart, but I never told her or anyone who I know tell her about this interaction. Partly because I don't think it was my place. But now I can't help this feeling of guilt. Was he purposely on Tinder to find me, or how many other girls is he doing this to behind her back? I honestly don't think I would ever believe this was happening if it wasn't lived by me. He has since tried to add some of my friends on social media, but never got accepted because they now know he's trying to reach out to find out where I am. What's going on? Really wish you'd send me a picture of Steve. Here's the thing, I think you need to tell his girlfriend, because I don't think he's actively, with peace and love, I don't think he's actually just seeking out you. I think he's just seeking out women. And that's why he's on Tinder. He's trying to hook up with your friends. He's trying to message your friends. He's trying to get accepted. Like, I think you need to tell her what's been going on. Especially if he's been like actively having sex with other women. That's so unsafe. Not that anyone he's having sex with is like dirty. But like, you know, if he's having a family, that's not how a dad or a father or a husband should treat their family at all. I think you really need to tell her, maybe ask if she wants to go for a coffee or go for a walk so it's not as confronting. I think you need to tell her in person so that she can see how sincere you are. That would be my approach here. But fucking hell, that went wrong, didn't it? And listen, you had no idea, so I don't feel like you're in the wrong. This happens so often that men try and hide their families or their background. It's just not right. But you definitely need to tell her. And thank you for sending in your story. That was very, very entertaining. You picked a good one there, Liz. Well done. Oh, girl. This is the opposite of that situation because you knew. Okay. You knew. And I'm a girl's girl through and through. I will always support the girls. I hope I can support you on this one. Here we go. Am I the arsehole for hooking up with a guy I knew had a girlfriend? Story time. So I come from a city where everyone knows everyone. My university had a campus in London, so I went there for 2 years abroad. And of course, a lot of people from my hometown were also there. That's where I met this guy. Let's call him Steve. Steve was super flirty with me. We got along so well. And honestly, I started to catch feelings. And I could tell he liked me too. Until one day, he was telling me a story and casually dropped in that he had a girlfriend. Oh, brilliant. Isn't that just perfect? You're like, so what are you doing this evening? I've got to face on my girlfriend. Meanwhile, you're like, huh? What? The fuck? Not just any girlfriend. A girlfriend of 5 years. And to make things even worse, she went to the same school as me back home, so of course I knew who she was. After that, I kept my distance, but living abroad can get so lonely. And since we studied the same thing, I kept seeing him and he kept being flirty. Fast forward to my last week in London, he got super flirty with me and even tried to kiss me. I was so shocked, but I played it cool. You were like, no kissy kissy, no kissy kissy. Later I texted him saying no worries about everything, we're so cool. But then he texted me back saying he really liked me and wanted to see me. So I let him come over. Why? Why did you do that? That was such a silly thing to do, sweet pea. That was literally one of the most dumbest decisions I ever. That was so silly. The problem here, girls, is that we are trained to like the things that we can't have. And you're across the world, away from your friends and your family. And Steve's away from his friend and his girlfriend of 5 years. And you're going to lean on each other for that. So I let him come over. And yeah, we hooked up. The guilt hit me instantly. As it should, you silly sausage. I literally cried the whole week. Sorry, let me be a little more sympathetic here. The guilt hit me instantly. I cried for the whole week. My friends kept asking me why I was so sad, and I told them it was because I was leaving London, which was true, but deep down, I was truly devastated. Then, Christmas, back at home, under the mistletoe. It doesn't say that. Christmas, back in our hometown, we saw each other a few times. And honestly, we hooked up again. He told me he really liked me, but also that he just wanted to... Steve! He told me he really liked me, but also he just wanted to have that wild hookup experience for his college days, which absolutely crushed me. What the fuck, Steve? Stephen, shh. You don't have to say that. You actually don't have to say that. There's so many, you don't. Shush. What was that going to achieve? You were just going to hurt her. Ew, the worst part, he still texts me. What the fuck? He still texts me, and even though I've tried to stop, the truth is I really, really like him a lot. I can't tell his girlfriend. Why? Tell her. Because I'm in my hometown, everyone would find out it was me, and it's such a sexist, male-dominated place. They wouldn't blame him. They would blame me. This is so true. This is so true. I'd get a reputation of being the girl who stole someone's boyfriend. I don't know what to do. Please help. I can help. I can help. I can help. What? He's here. I can help. Put this on your story. Ladies and gentlemen, We are on the hunt for a man who was universitied in London. This man has committed an act of betrayal that goes beyond flirty texts. This man has been hooking up with multiple women off his own accord because despite having a girlfriend of 5 years, he wanted a wild hookup experience despite his beautiful, kind-hearted girlfriend. This is a public service announcement to any girls out there who may think this is their boyfriend. You need to check his phone. You need to break up with this man. Joe and I would like to let you know that we believe you are being disrespected. We would also like to take this moment to let you know that your boyfriend is the one in the wrong here. He has manipulated women into his bed with his flirty texts. This is on my client. This is in no way her. She is not solely responsible. It takes two to tango. It takes two to doodle-oo and get it on. We would implore you to speak with your boyfriend and not the girl. I think that'll go down well.
As in, like, they committed to each other. The girl wasn't involved in that commitment, so she has not betrayed anybody.
I agree.
Morally,
not quite there. That's what I'd put. I'll edit that for you and I'll put it out there as one video and you can just share it on your story if you want. Get a couple of girls involved. Get a couple of people sharing it. We'll never know it's you, babe. We can help that out. I'm now taking cameos to let people know that their boyfriends are cheating on them. So if you'd like me to let anyone know, I think that went down quite well. What were you asking me? I don't know what to do. Yeah, just do what I've just said. I think that's a great way. Or set up a burner account, send her a letter, a printed letter. Yeah, I think that'd be a great way of going about it personally. I can't wait to see if anyone shares this story. But in the future, know your worth, okay? You don't need to be sleeping with other people's boyfriends. That's low vibe. You can find your own boyfriend. And I understand you are lonely and he just got you at a low time. And that's how these motherfuckers work. They get you when you're down. Mistakes happen. You're young. Most likely this motherfucker is not going to marry him anyway. So, you've probably done her a favour. You got to find the positives. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I've been informed that this one is disgusting. So strap in. Maybe put down any food if you're eating. Am I the arsehole for telling my husband to wipe better after pooping? Story time. This is my career. This is my job. My husband and I, bearing in mind these are two 39-year-old people, are in a day-long fight about his toilet habits. We've been married for 13 years and it has not been sunshine and rainbows, so we've been going to counselling for a few months. The argument, are we going to counselling about the pooing? The argument here, sometimes when I go to the bathroom, I see that my husband has pooped, but forgot to flush. I didn't say anything at first because he works hard and he's a busy man. However, it started happening more frequently the past couple of months. We're talking once or twice a week, I will find my husband's poo in the toilet. So I finally brought it up to him like, hey, this has been happening quite a lot lately. No big deal, just remember to flush. He was apologetic and said he would make an effort. Cool. Less than a week later, I went to the bathroom and got another brown peekaboo. Not poop, but a bunch of toilet paper streaked with poop was sitting in the toilet. So I told my husband, you forgot to flush again. He replied, oh yeah, I guess I did leave a bunch of toilet paper in the toilet. Sorry about that, it won't happen again. I replied, no, it wasn't just toilet paper. It was a bunch of poopy toilet paper. I wanted to be clear about what the problem was. I didn't want him to think that I was nagging about some lingering plain toilet paper in the toilet. I feel like he has a history of downplaying and invalidating my concerns that I voiced to him, and I didn't want this to happen in this situation. Amen, sis. He got so defensive after I clarified this. It seemed like he wanted to explain why there was poopy toilet paper, but no poop. I personally didn't really think about it much, that until he brought up this point. He shouted, "Do I have to spell it out to you?" I was like, I guess so. I don't think there's a super obvious reason why a bunch of poopy... I've just realised why there's going to be a bunch of poopy toilet paper in the toilet, but no poop. Because he's not wiping. Ooh, it's been festering in the crack. Right. He shouted, "Do I have to spell it out for you?" I was like, I guess so. I don't think there's an obvious reason why there'd be a bunch of poopy toilet paper hanging out in its lonesome. And I don't like the condescending, aggressive tone you're speaking to me with. Get it? He continued yelling about how sometimes he doesn't get fully clean after pooping and his initial wiping. So his butthole... So his butthole ends up feeling itchy later in the day. And so he'll wipe it before getting in the shower. Hence the poopy toilet paper that he forgot to flush. From there, it totally blew up into a screaming match. I told him that he should be properly wiping his butt immediately after pooping. At some point in the yelling, he accused me of trying to shame him and embarrass him. Yes, Steve, you should be shamed and embarrassed. You should feel all of the shame. I said, well, that's not my intent, but yeah, a grown adult should be properly wiping his own arse after going to the bathroom. And I know I would certainly be embarrassed if I was you right now. What the fuck? We haven't been speaking for a few days. I simply cannot wait for your next counselling session, that you have to bring this up with your counsellor. He said he's sorry, but he thinks I should you should apologise, and he's being aggressive about it. It was never my intent to make him feel badly, but I'm unwilling to apologise when he's being so aggressive and accusatory. Yesterday, he told me in anger that I need independent therapy for my behaviour. Considering our current work in couples counselling, I think we could have been nicer during this exchange. Am I the arsehole? No, I think you need to buy a bidet. I think you need to get a bidet installed, maybe like a nice Japanese toilet. It's going to clean the butthole for him. This man has been severely let down. Do we remember a few weeks ago, I had a story about a girl whose boyfriend's personal hygiene was not that good, and she was making an effort to try and teach him how to have good personal hygiene. These are the motherfuckers I'm talking about. You got to get them in their 20s. You've got to get them when they're potty training, realistically, but apparently some people aren't getting that far. Itchy. Why would one's arsehole become itchy? And the thing is, ladies, I'm not here to shame anyone with what they want to do with their hair down there. But a man's arse crack surely is going to be a lot hairier than a lady's. So that's getting tangled up in there and it's matting. Maybe that's why. His pubes around his butthole are getting matted by shit.
No, I can't do with that. That's too much.
You know, when you take the dog to you see these dog grooming videos and they've got all their matted hair. That's what's happening around Steve's bum. He needs to go to a hygienist appointment for his arse. He needs a back sack and crack. That's fucking disgusting. The fact that he would admit that as well. Could he not have just said that like the poop just like slipped down the... Also, another thing. He's wiping before showering. So he has some level of knowledge that the poop is not going to be good. I also love that whole story we were using the term poop at 39 years old. That's so funny. I don't think you're in the wrong here at all, babe. I think you should have gone harder. That is fucking disgusting. Bring that up in your next counselling session. Let that counsellor know what you're living with. That's just simply rancid. Simply rancid. Jesus. I'm so sorry. Ew. Ew, that is all I have to offer. Joe, any thoughts on the situation? Exactly, that's exactly what I would do. I'm so baffled. Absolutely baffled. Vile man. You're not wrong at all. God. Ew. Right, well, on that note then, I guess we'll end the episode. Lizzie's traumatised in the corner over here. If you have got any stories, please do send them in via the link in our bio. There's also one in the description down below. Make sure to follow us on all our socials. Make sure to follow me as well, especially on my Instagram, because that's where I'm going to start putting all the polls and stuff, and I can see your inputs. It'll be both tea and 2 sugars and on Tatty. Cool. I will see you next week, guys. Mwah! Tatty, bye!
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.